Matthew Stafford is being treated like the one quarterback who can dethrone Mahomes, and the Rams like an unstoppable machine. But at 39, with a target on their backs, off-field chaos, and a top-heavy roster, one question could shatter the entire Super Bowl dream.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot. The more likely Super Bowl winning MVP quarterback that at the end of the season we're saying is the best in the NFL. Matthew Stafford or Patrick Mahomes? Chiefs Rams.
Of course I'll go with Stafford.
Whoa. Mahomes slander.
Mahomes is not, I'm not slandering Mahomes. Who's got a better chance to win the Super Bowl this year?
Chiefs.
Okay. I think the Chiefs are terrific. I think the Chiefs and the Rams might be as...
We know you think
By the way,
the
Chiefs and the Rams would break Super Bowl viewing records.
Be a great Super Bowl.
In Los Angeles. But at the end of the day, which one has a better chance to be a Super Bowl winner? The Rams. They're on my power rankings list, and the Chiefs are yet to crack my top 10. I need to see it first.
But that confidence comes with a massive warning, because behind the Rams' hype is a nightmare of age, pressure, and uncertainty that could derail everything.
We continue the countdown to Super Bowl 61 at SoFi Stadium with the big game set to air exactly 6 months from today on ESPN and ABC. The Rams are the favorite to be in that game and win it all, marking the first time they have been the preseason Super Bowl favorites in at least 20 years. They have plus 550 odds at DraftKings, with the Bills and Ravens having the next shortest odds at 10-1. So are you buying, CC, that the Rams are the overwhelming favorite to win the Super Bowl?
Hell no. Last 30 years in the NFL, the preseason favorite hasn't, you're only talking about 4 of them winning the actual championship. And those 4 teams, their quarterbacks, Tom Brady, done it twice, Peyton Manning, Hall of Famer, and Patrick Mahomes, future Hall of Famer. I can't assign that level of success to them just based on what we've seen from the trends, because we know when you have that preseason favorite moniker, everybody is circling you on their schedule. You got a target on your back. It's a very different thing being the hunted versus the hunter. Other thing I'll say is this. They will have a 39-year-old quarterback by the time Super Bowl 61 kicks off. Only 2 quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl age 39 or older. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Not sure I'm putting Matthew Stafford in that bucket. There's that. Also, you have to consider the fact that you've got some serious off-the-field issues with your wide receiver in Puka Nacua and your left tackle in Alaric Jackson. We heard from Adam Schefter earlier this week on the Pat McAfee Show. He said that the league is discussing potential discipline for both of those guys, and the latter could potentially be a repeat offender when it comes to violating the personal conduct policy. You got a top-heavy roster, 10 guys taking up over 60% of your salary cap. So anytime you start talking about the distribution with your cap being that way, injuries disproportionately affect you. And then, of course, there is the team chemistry of it all. You're making my point.
But he hasn't been in the playoffs a lot, not because of him. It's because what he has been around for a very long time. If we're talking about Joe Burrow is going to get tired of not having things, then Myles Garrett now has gotten his wish. And then you got it so much that you have Aaron Donald coming out of retirement. How effective will he be? He'd be just effective enough that enough people at the A and B gap will fear him to be able to give him some one-on-one setup situation. Then they got McDuffie, who's a very physical guy. I get what you're saying, and yes, on paper, you are 100% right.
Yeah.
But we also know, also on paper, we're not including the great coaching staff that the Los Angeles Rams have done with a lot less talent. Just because a guy is of age that people generally don't perform well, he still has been performing well, named Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
Kevin Clark.
CC, great arguments. I disagree with basically everything you said.
I know you do.
So let's start here. You said, the Hall of Fame, the list of Hall of Famers. Matthew Stafford is a future Hall of Famer. He's going to Canton.
He's not Peyton Manning. He's not Tom Brady.
I understand
He's not even Patrick Mahomes.
I understand.
So let's chill out.
But he's Matthew Stafford.
But he's Matthew Stafford, and everybody right now who calls defensive plays or plays defense is scared of Matthew Stafford.
Should be.
And the way he's able to manipulate defenses on a play-to-play basis.
Okay.
You mentioned the top-heavy roster. I agree in theory, but also that undersells some of the young talent on this team. Your Braden Fisks, your Cam Kitchens, the bunch of guys on the D-line who were there before.
Keep preaching.
Yeah, I mean, you just think about obviously Trent McDuffie, Stafford, Puka. We're going to know about this, but Byron Young, Kobe Turner, they're consistently good. You were able to trade Jared Verse and still have a really deep defensive line behind it. So you mentioned the coaching. It's really good. Sean McVay is a top 5 coach in this league. Sometimes when there are super teams in this league, it's undone by a Freddie Kitchens. It's undone by somebody who's not there to carry the torch relative to what the talent looks like. Sean McVay is not going to do that. And I just look around the league and I see a bunch of incomplete teams, CC. This is the complete team. Everybody else is incomplete. We mentioned the Bengals earlier, right? Coaching questions with the Bills and the Ravens. There's so many. The Chargers look great until the games start. There's so many questions. There are no questions with the Rams.
Matthew Stafford or Patrick Mahomes? That sounds crazy right now, but it's becoming a real debate. The Rams are being treated as the NFL's next unstoppable machine, with Stafford viewed by some as the quarterback most capable of taking the throne from Mahomes. Los Angeles is currently the preseason favorite at roughly plus 550, ahead of teams like Buffalo and Baltimore. But here's the catch. Stafford will be 39 years old when Super Bowl 61 arrives. Only Tom Brady and Peyton Manning have won a Super Bowl at 39 or older. So the Rams aren't simply betting on Stafford. They're betting against history, and history gets even more uncomfortable when you look at what happens to preseason favorites. Over roughly the last 30 years, only 4 preseason favorites actually finished the season as Super Bowl champions. And those teams had quarterbacks like Brady, Manning, and Mahomes. That matters because the Rams now have a massive target on their backs. Every opponent wants to beat them. Every weakness will be analyzed. Every injury becomes bigger. And Los Angeles also has potential off-field complications involving Puka Nacua and Alaric Jackson, with league discipline being discussed. Then there is the roster itself. Around 10 players account for more than 60% of the salary cap. That's incredible star power. But it also creates danger. One major injury can suddenly change everything. But here's why the Rams believers aren't backing down. Because their defense could be good enough to hide almost every weakness. Look at what Los Angeles has assembled. Myles Garrett, Trent McDuffie, Byron Young, Kobe Turner. Garrett is coming off a historic season with 23 sacks, while McDuffie brings physicality and versatility to the secondary. And then there's the wildest possibility of all. Aaron Donald could return. Even if Donald isn't the dominant player he once was, he wouldn't need to be. Put him next to Garrett, and suddenly offensive coordinators have a nightmare. Double one? The other gets one-on-one. Protect inside? Garrett attacks outside. Protect outside? Donald can destroy the pocket. That's the type of defensive pressure that makes an aging quarterback's life much easier. And that's where the biggest advantage of all enters the conversation. Sean McVay. Sean McVay is the reason I wouldn't dismiss the Rams. He's a top-tier coach who has consistently gotten more from his roster than people expected. And Stafford is still Stafford. He doesn't need to run around like a 25-year-old quarterback. He needs to read defenses, manipulate coverage, and deliver the football. That's exactly where his experience becomes dangerous. So yes, Mahomes has the resume. But Stafford has something else. A complete team around him. The Rams have elite coaching, explosive offensive talent, and a defense that could become terrifying. Meanwhile, almost every major contender has questions. The Bengals have questions. The Bills have questions. The Ravens have questions. The Chargers have questions. Even Kansas City has to prove it can get back to the top. And suddenly, the Rams don't look so crazy. But that's exactly why this season could become either Stafford's greatest achievement or one of the NFL's biggest disappointments. If Matthew Stafford wins Super Bowl 61 and becomes Super Bowl MVP at age 39, the conversation changes completely.
he wouldn't just be a future Hall of Famer. He would have beaten the odds, survived the pressure, and potentially taken the NFL's throne away from Patrick Mahomes, even if only for one unforgettable season. But if the injuries come, if the top-heavy roster collapses, if the pressure becomes too much, if Stafford finally looks his age, then all this hype disappears just as quickly as it arrived. That's the brutal reality of being the favorite. You don't get remembered for being close. You get remembered for winning. So now I want to hear from you. Would you trust 39-year-old Matthew Stafford over Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl? Because the Rams may have the talent to win it all, but Stafford has to prove they have the quarterback to finish the job. Thank you for watching Sport Current. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video to support the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss the latest NFL and WNBA news, breaking stories, game updates, trades, and the biggest moments in American sports. Stay tuned for more updates, and we'll see you in the next video right here on Sport Current.